Well, thank you for meeting with me for our last session. So, I think it was 2 weeks ago at this point. I came into your classroom and then I watched you for about 20 minutes do the expectations with the chart, and then you like reenacted the role play and
get with your partner that you were talking with before. Okay, Motika, you're in this group. You're a group of 3. Okay, now guys, I'm going to show you some shapes. And I want you to talk with your partner. So I need a volunteer to give me a bad example. Somebody that's not listening to their partner. So you would like turn your back and look over there. Let's see. All right, Kayla, you're going to be a bad example. That means you're not listening to Alex as he's talking to you, okay? So I'm going to show you this shape, guys. The rest of you are going to act like normal and do normal partner talk, okay? So this is a what shape?
Circle.
Okay, I want you to talk to your partner about something you know that's the shape of a circle. All right, Kayla, show a bad example. You're not listening. Okay, tell them an example of a circle. Okay, example of a circle. Okay. All right, what was Kayla doing that she wasn't supposed to be doing as a partner? Was she listening to Alex talk? No, she had her back turned. She was looking at the poster, not paying attention. Now I'm going to have someone show me a good example of partner talk. Okay, Kellyanne, I want you to show me a very good example. Okay? So a good example, remember the things we talked about. We're listening with our listening ears to a partner. We're focused and looking straight at their face. Okay, so now guys, I want you turning back to your partner, telling them something.
we just had them go over the expectations. So I had like a little checklist. So we implemented our tool, and then I watched like how the students were progressing throughout the time, and then I also watched like making sure that you were doing like the stuff on the checklist we had talked about. So this was just for me to look at. So our goal was that 75% of students will be on task for 10 minutes during whole group time with partner talk. So you mentioned what does it look like when students are working hard, with their eyes, voice, bodies, and hands. Give good example and bad example. Repeated the expectation with the anchor chart. The students were practicing and the students did self-assess. And from what I saw, based on like the data that I gathered about the students' progress towards that goal, 6 out of 8 of them is 75%. And there was really, during the partner talk, there was about 3 students that were off task at some point during that time. But during the whole group part where you were going over something on the board, there was only 1 off task. So you beat your goal with the whole group, but partner talk we were just a little bit shy. But that's really good, since they're kindergartners. So I saw that students' attention was on the teacher pretty much the whole time. Like you would give them little reminders, and like when you did you had the shape that was shown up there, and then they had to write the answer like A, B, C, or D on the board. They were engaged with that, and they were attending to what you were saying or what you were asking them to do. And then I also saw that the students did act out each parts of the bodies, and they continually followed the expectations that were set in the classroom. They practiced with their partner, and they did a really nice job of just staying focused on the question that they were supposed to be talking about. I heard one group in the back, I don't think they fully understood what to do. They're going blah, 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 blah. So I think they didn't know that they were actually supposed to be discussing something, but every other group, I think you had 4 or 5 partner groups, and like every other group was focused, so that was good. And you did coach into like each of the groups and checked in with them during that time, and you were clarifying questions with them, which is great. So what I saw was that 3 were off task because those 2 girls weren't doing what they asked to do, and then there was just one at the front that was kind of like searching around, but everybody else was acting exactly how you had wanted them to act during that time on the carpet. And then during the whole group, you did have one that was off task, but you had moved him to get him to get back on task, and that actually worked because there were lots of times where everybody 100% was on task, so that was good to see.
I know partner talk we're still working on too, like we're kindergartners, just like getting them to know exactly what to do. So that's a goal of mine to keep working on that with them. Because I know in like the other grades they'll be doing that a lot more. So
yes, that's
just getting them
a really
to like
good part.
learn how to talk with their partner and take turns because they want to shout over each other and like not talk about what they're supposed to do. So that's something I plan to work on too.
And how do you think they have progressed during this time? Like since you have gone over expectations and refer to it, how are they doing?
When I point to that poster, they get on task. Like if they have that visual now, so it's not just me saying like eyes on the teacher with no visual, but now that I have that, we go over that a lot, and you know we've gone over it, and now I just point to it, and it seems like sometimes I do have to voice like what they're supposed to do. What does this mean? But most of the time I can just point and say how are you supposed to act.
And they fix themselves. That's great to hear.
Yeah.
I had a question after. I forgot it. It'll come back. But then I also did see that the students did self-assess during the end of the mini lesson. So just basic frowny face for if they thought they weren't doing what they were supposed to. A halfway face if they were sometimes following the expectations, sometimes not, and then a smiley face like yes, I know I'm doing our expectations. So have you been continuing with that, or is it
Not
more of
as
just like a
much.
verbal
Yeah, it's just verbal. Because I know with sticky notes sometimes they get out of control. So I've just had them verbally, or I'll write like this on the board and they'll just point to it. Sometimes I'll have them come up and point to it.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, because I feel like with kindergartners, it's like they think it's fun,
kind of an
but it's
ordeal.
not. Yeah, but it's not like they're really focusing on that. So I just tried it on the board, and it works better that way for them.
And how have you noticed whole group and partner talk time now that you have
I feel like whole group
done it?
is-
Which one is working really well with this? Which one needs a little bit more support with the expectation?
I think if I had like a poster like that, but for partner talk, like them facing each other, I don't know. I could draw one maybe, but like one where they're facing each other and like the expectations for partner
So
talk.
yeah, the talk.
Yeah.
We'll just say talk at the top and 2
Yeah,
people.
and I think if they had a visual for that, I could
Okay.
use that for partner talk, and I think that would be good for them.
We can make that. I'll have
Yeah.
to look up. Yeah, because I found that one.
I like that one
so-
a lot, but if we could find one for partner talk, and I could refer to that one, and I think the posters really helped them have a visual.
So the whole group is everybody's
Yeah,
pretty much on task.
I mean, we have those few that I have one that he just can't sit still. Like that's just his. I don't know if it's his personality or what, but now I had another one get added back in, and when they're together, it's like they don't want to
That's so
listen,
funny.
especially when that kid he had left for India and now he came back, and it's when he's in the room for some reason this kid I don't know just
Has a
acts
hard
different. And so I had to get onto him a lot today because and I know it's like Thanksgiving break and everything, but I feel like with that kid for some reason when they come in together.
So maybe re-going
to
over that
separate, yeah.
expectation too, since he missed it
Yeah.
for being out. He just doesn't know really yet what
Yeah.
to do. So your whole group is about 10 to 12 minutes or so. So for those 10 to 12 minutes, how many minutes do you think everybody is on task doing what they're supposed to do, following expectations?
I would say most of them are pretty much on 100% of the time. It's just those few 2 to 3 kids that just want to move around in the back, and I don't know if I should make places on the carpet for them or not, because I only have 2 pull-out classes. So if I made a
A
spot
long
or a
spot.
letter that they have to sit on, or I don't know, maybe I can do that because I know the kids that don't get along and don't, and But then
think
there's
that
some
would
that
be
will
fun.
talk to everybody no matter where
Yeah.
I move them. So.
And you still want them to be like close and
Yeah.
not all the way over
Mm-hmm.
on the opposite side.
Then sometimes I use the projector and that thing blocks. So
Half
I have
of
to like
it,
yeah,
yeah.
so that's the only issue really is if when the projector is moved. I may have to just move them to another spot, but
You could just not use these 3
mm-hmm.
rows right here and just like over by your author's chair and
Yeah.
over that way it still works anytime that you whatever you're using to teach at that time.
Yeah, 'cause I think spots on the carpet might be good for that group too, just because they are a talkative bunch and you know, I can figure out who needs to be up front and who needs more to focus more and then who can be okay in the back and focus in the back.
So that kind of fits with like the move aspect
Mhm.
of the.
Yeah, like having them instead of just
Expectation.
letting them sit wherever, having a special spot for them.
Okay. So we would like to add another visual for talk and another visual or some sort of chart for move.
Yeah.
Okay. During partner talk time, how long do you usually have partner talk? For about 30 seconds or 1 minute or?
It's more like 30 seconds because they get so off task, so it's short with
Okay.
kindergarten.
So for those 30 seconds, how many partners do you think are actually doing what they've asked, following the expectations?
But I say like half, like you had kind of like.
So it's
you said-
very
yeah,
similar,
it's
okay.
Similar.
And this was really close in time when we between now and then, so that
Yeah.
makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I think about half because I feel like we still need to focus on how to do partner talk with the kindergartners since they haven't been taught it until this year. You know, they're still like learning how to take turns and how to have conversations. So that's something I just need to work on with all of them, just how to do it. And if I can find a visual, that would be really helpful too.
And so I saw you with your afternoon kindergarten class, and you've been doing the same with your morning kindergarten
Yeah, I
class
still
too.
refer to that chart, but I have 15 in there compared to
Okay.
like, well now I have 10 in here instead of 8, so it's a little bit higher, but yeah, I have 15, which is, you know, 5 more students in this class, so it's like a lot more, and they're a pretty chatty bunch too. When I show them that, they're pretty good about, you know, getting focused and.
So I think I guess maybe our next steps for just to make sure that this is the direction that you want this expectation to go is that we need a talk visual, move visual, and I think we just might need to just go over the expectation again.
Yeah. It's always good to be repetitive with the kindergartners.
Especially since like when they come back from Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be like a big
Loves
reset.
Yeah, so I think that might be an appropriate time to
Yeah.
reintroduce those expectations and like have those 2 other visuals and just to remind them, okay, this is what we're working on because pretty soon we're gonna be, you're halfway through kindergarten, so we gotta, make sure we're doing things ready for 1st grade. I know that talk's gonna start pretty soon.
Yes.
So re-going over those expectations after break with those new visuals, I think, might help you feel more successful in the partner talk area. And of course, it would help whole group too at that time.
Yeah.
So we have had 75% on task during whole group, but during partner talk, we are not quite there. I'm not sure what the math is. 5 out of, well, now it's a little bit different, so it'd be like 7 out of 10, wouldn't it be?
Yeah.
Or 8 out of 10. So we're about 70 to 80.
Yeah.
So we're pretty close to your goal. But do you want to continue to meet this goal and push up that number?
Yeah, I think partner talks is important, so I'd like them to learn that.
In your other class of 15, how many would you say?
That class is like
just so we kind of have what we can figure out. 75% is there.
I'd say whole group again, they're more focused.
Okay.
And partner talk is also an issue. I mean, I do have to get on to probably at least 5 of them constantly.
15.
Yeah. But, I mean, for the most part, they're pretty, like, I have a lot that will sit there and listen and focus. And I think when I compliment them, that helps too. When I, say, look at how Arthur is sitting, or, look how, I'll just, when I throw out a name, it's like they straighten up or they want to, like, be complimented as well.
Yeah,
So
I want to
that
make sure
helps.
everybody hears their name.
Yeah.
So you're not. I don't know the math for this one honestly. 10 out of 15. I'm not sure, but for the class that we had like originally set out for, you're pretty close to the goal, and I think 10 out of 15 is not bad at all. So it seems like we're increasing towards that progress and increasing toward that targeted objective, but we might still need a little bit more time to go. Okay. How does the next step sound for you with the 2 visuals and the
I think that will be helpful. Okay.
just reset expectations?
Yeah, I feel like that really helped. The poster really helped when I had that visual, just to be a reminder of me not have to constantly say, this is what we're doing, but when I point to it or, be like, this is how we're supposed to act, and they straighten up. And,
Okay.
yeah, I feel like they needed that visual to kind of show them what it looks like too, so I've shown them before, but then they seem to forget, so when they have that constant reminder, it helps.
Okay. Well, it seems like we are done for our session today, and I think that we are good to go. So thank you.